MorristownGreen.com.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming out. Students done a great job with Mike, and you do a great job with the show, and I'm sorry that we're disappointing you. And parents, I thank you for supporting your students and standing up and coming out. It's what makes a strong school system, so parental involvement. But we do have to make decisions, and I understand that a lot of you do not have all of the information because we generally don't have a forum for sharing all the information about a particular employee and some of which is not appropriate to share in public. But what was mentioned here tonight, I just took some notes, just to allay some of your fears, and this isn't something that I'm looking at from a distance at central office. We've met with Mr. Manning and Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler and Mr. Manning have met at least 4 times on the same issue. And it was, how do we, can we continue this program without any cuts, which is without any reduction in the service, which is why I said what I said in the paper, that we can do that. I realize as I hear you talk that I can't replace a friend or someone that you're close to, but we can replace the services, and some of the things that were mentioned. The play, there will be the taping of the play, or the graduation, fashion show, all of that will continue. It was mentioned several times that the equipment was broken, and that in the future it may be broken in a long time before someone comes to fix it. Well, that actually was part of some of the reasoning behind us looking into a reorganization. As you know, the radio station was down because the transmitter was broken for 3 months. That was under the former organization of the radio station, that 3-month downtime till October. We have a company that can bring people in on an immediate basis and replace and analyze equipment and do it the same day or within a few days. That is part of the reorganization. A highly professional company with highly sophisticated individuals who are capable of doing that, and we will no longer have a radio station down for 3 months. The word engineer was used over and over again. This board never employed an engineer. I don't know where the newspapers got the title chief engineer, but we never employed an engineer in the school district. We had an audiovisual technician, but we did not have an engineer. And some of the other things that we talked about, inventorying. And I think it's a disgrace that you were pulled from an AP course, an AP test, to plug in a microphone. But we're looking at technical expertise, and since there's been a lot of wondering why, just what our thinking was, between salary, overtime, and health benefits, that Mr. Woodruff's position last year made $94,781. By these cuts and giving Mr. Butler, who has tremendous expertise and years of experience in television, radio, a stipend for the extra hours a day, which he has happily accepted, and adding in a few former graduates to do things like plug in the mics and things of that nature, we have been able to save $81,000 from the budget. That's what we're hired to do. We do have midterm reviews frequently. We put freezes on supply budgets, we put freezes on orders, and we review everything to make sure that people are not spending money just to spend it, and that there's an actual need. And also we review staffing needs and periodically as well. And when the impetus being the broken equipment, as we started to look into that and realize that we did not have the capacity to fix that equipment, and it's why we were down for 3 months, and we now have that capacity. So in the future, when equipment goes down, it will not be sitting there waiting weeks or days. We have a company that's very reputable. It works with police and fire, and we've been in contact with them, and they will be coming in at a moment's notice at a $90 an hour charge for fixing the equipment. If we had them on board in the fall, the radio station would not have been down for 3 months. So I understand that people are emotional about friends. It's not a nice position to be in, to eliminate someone's position. We don't relish in it, but we have a fiduciary responsibility to this community. Our job, my job in particular, is to run a thorough and efficient operation. And in meeting with Mr. Butler and Mr. Manning, we are convinced that we can provide the same level of service. We may have a few hiccups along the way. If we do, we will correct, and we will do what needs to be done in order to keep the radio station functioning at the same level. Unfortunately, we had to do that at the expense of eliminating a position, but at a savings of $81,000. So again, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I think we all have to carry out our roles the way that we see best, and this decision was made for the best interest of the entire school district. And keeping in mind that I have been reassured, and we will continue to monitor, that that radio station, television station, will not be providing less services, and children will not be harmed or deprived of time in that station. And that's a commitment that we make, and we will stick by it. Thank you.
Next question. Will you be reevaluating at the end of the school year the status of the...
Yeah, we will be reevaluating on an ongoing basis. Mr. Butler and Mr. Manning will be in close contact, and if there's anything that slips through the cracks that we didn't think of, they will be in contact with me, and we will make sure we put whatever Band-Aid is necessary.
And the other monitoring service will be you all. We implore you, we invite you to come back to a school board meeting if things are not going well or not to your satisfaction, and keep us aware. And between school board meetings, you are certainly free to call.
Well, your first point of contact should be Mr. Butler and Mr. Manning.
Right.
And I'm sure that they will handle it. They know what our commitment is. We're proud of that radio station, and we're proud of Morristown High School. We have no interest in diminishing services here.
May I just say something?
Sure.
I just want to say we are really supportive of the broadcasting program. In fact, I especially am, because my daughter was the first Colonial Corner anchor way back. Now she has actually students in the high school herself, but she was the first Colonial Corner anchor. So we're a board that really support and care very much about the radio station and all that you do.
Okay.
Especially.
Well, thank you for all your comments.
Thank you.